It's Wisdom Wednesday with growth coach Gina Grebinger and production leader Robert Filial from the Moore Mortgage Group, powered by Annie Mac Home Mortgage. Happy Wisdom Wednesday.
Happy Wisdom Wednesday. I'm going to get pause today.
I have a good one for you this week,
Oh,
Robert.
Lord.
I'm actually really curious about your answer to this one. We talk so much, so I know what a lot of your answers are going to be, but I'm curious about this one. So what is the biggest risk that you've ever taken?
Biggest risk that I've ever taken. I don't know when to talk about that. Gosh, I am a risk taker and a quick decision maker and implementer. Typically, if you were to look at my life and some of the decisions and actions I've taken, I moved fast, right? Lacey and I dated six weeks and got engaged.
Oh wow!
We just closed on a house that I bought sight unseen.
Yeah, you're a risk taker.
Didn't even step foot into it until after we closed. So, there's been a lot of risks. So, which is the biggest? I think we probably need to categorize it, right? Because you have the risk like to life and limb, like what's your biggest risk there? Mm-hmm. What's the biggest risk, to your business? So I think we could break it into different categories, but probably the biggest risk overall was the decision to join the Marine Corps. You think about it, because we've heard it said many times that you're writing a blank check for freedom to give up to and including your life. So I think that's a huge risk. You don't know what you're going to get into when you enlist, where it's going to take you, what situations it's going to put you in. You're really essentially giving up control of yourself. Even to for those of you who aren't aware, there's an entirely different set of laws and rules for the military called the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So you got all the regular laws, but when you're in the military, you have a whole nother set of laws that you have to follow that go down even to as strict as how you dress when you're out in public and just various things, right? And then in case you just mess up and it doesn't fit any rule, they have a catch-all rule that they can just throw at you. So that's probably the absolute biggest risk. And you take a look at that and say, okay, well that ended up leading to a deployment to Iraq, which in and of itself was a risk. But that initial decision led to that risk. You look at that and say, okay, well, I'm rappelling down a mountain off the coast of Curacao, right? Or I'm running combat missions on a Cobra, a Black Hawk helicopter. All of that stuff is risk, but it all came from the risk, which was the decision to enlist into the Marine Corps. One of the best decisions I've ever made, but probably the biggest risk I've ever taken. And then we want to go personal. Asking someone to marry you 6 weeks into dating them, pretty big risk, right?
But it was a good
decision. A huge risk. Best decision ever, though. Got engaged after 6 weeks, deployed to Iraq for almost a year, came back and got married, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later. And we, in December, celebrated 15 years. Working on 16 now. So, risk that paid off. The Marine Corps is a risk that paid off. And then you take it professionally. There's probably two that are equally tied. The first would be going into the mortgage business. Brand new married. Literally, I was married for 2 days and left my salaried, safe position as a banking center manager to go into the wholly new field of retail mortgage lending that was commissioned only. So jumped out there, took a risk, it paid off, right? pretty successful. And then the other kind of business risk would be opening a branch, right? We had the team dialed in. You and I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I was down to Oregon, 15 hours, 18 hours a week. The team was dialed in, just humming, and I could have stayed in that space in perpetuity and been no risk, little to no risk, super solid, super happy. But we threw a grenade in that and blew it all up to open the branch, and huge learning curve there. I think 4.5 years in, I feel like I maybe have a handle on it. But huge rewards. We've seen, big things happen as a result of that. So, yeah, a lot of risk.
I was gonna say, wow, I feel kind of lame.
A lot of risk. And then we've always, and Lacey's the same way, we've always been quick just to make a decision and roll with it. We've flipped over 50 houses at this point, right? So there's risk in that. Right?
Yeah,
There's
a lot of risk.
risk in a lot of everything that we do. We have rental properties, there's risk in that. So yeah, I think those are the biggest ones though.
Yeah, those are pretty big ones.
Yes.
Awesome. See you next week.
I guess.